Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man giving you the truth. The truth. Yeah. And the channel is No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. Now, we finna talk about these crack pipes. People bring up the point, well, Trump passed out the what's that needle called where they revive overdose people. That's different. You actually saving lives. But what I want to talk about today is them crack pipes, DEM crack pipes that Joe Biden and the Biden administration have passed out and plan on passing out. Yes, sir. Y'all knew I was coming. See, I remember those days where I couldn't even come on the job without people inferior to my political prowess trying to argue with me because they knew that I was a Trump supporter and they know that I vote conservatively and they know that I vote for Republicans, and if I don't like a Republican candidate, I don't vote. But they was like, yeah, we did it, slapping high five and stuff. You did what? Made it safer for people to smoke crack? What you do? Oh, we did it. Oh, yes. Oh, the orange man is gone. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. What you do? Higher gas prices? Oil glitches? What you do? Safe crack pipes? Huh? Plans to legalize prostitution? Huh? What you do? I'll wait. Still waiting. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and my comments is open for any of you to show me what you accomplished with him in office. Matter of fact, I think we all is kind of in danger. Because two people that liked it, our former president, that wasn't good enough for you, you said he was racist, even though your current administration wants to pass out crack pipes. Why not take away crack? Huh? I'll wait. Still waiting. Matter of fact, dislike if I'm saying something that ain't true, or I'm saying something that's unrighteous or something wrong, dislike it. But y'all was walking around talking about we did it. Y'all voted for somebody who said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Y'all should have been through with him right then and there. How can a white person tell you whether or not you black? Nothing against white people, but that's one thing that they can't tell you. They can try to change with their armies and whatever they choose to do, but one thing they can't change about us is us being this color. They can't change that. But this guy seems to think, like most Democrats, that he can change everything. And that he can control the way that you think, so on and so forth. He wouldn't even say law enforcement. Man, this dude, he wouldn't even say law enforcement. Now he passing out crack pipes, man. And you know what I really don't like? Like people on my Facebook, like people that I've known my whole life, some of them, since we was kids, like jumped in they fights, went and picked them up when their car stopped, all kind of stuff, gonna come against me for this clown, man. And you know what? I don't even want to call them names. Like, that's not really my style. I just want to focus on his mishaps and give him props if he do something good. I mean, even if you go by the child tax, when I went and filed my taxes, they took that out of there. Like, I could have got back even more. But y'all hiding. We all adults here. Like, most of my Facebook friends that voted for Biden, they grown. Practically 99% of them, y'all grown. But you hiding. You hiding. I got relatives. You know you are. You had a lot to say. Now you ain't got nothing to say. You hiding like a coward. Your boy is trying to pass out crack pipes. And you had a lot to say about what we should inject in ourselves and what he was doing and this, that, and the other. Now you hiding. I'm coming to y'all. Because I know you know, some of y'all ain't gonna watch the video. Because you don't want nothing that's real. You base everything off your emotions. Trump said a few things that you didn't like, so you wanted him out of office. Even though he was supporting the black colleges, even though he got the first tariff on China in many, many years, even though the unemployment was the lowest in 50 years, you wanted him out of there because of stand back, stand down, or whatever he said, and a couple other things that he said. But you didn't do no research, which tells me, and I know that you were emotional. You was doing, everything is about your emotion. Like, yeah, especially if you're a man. If you a man, you gotta limit your actions that are based on emotions. I didn't vote for Trump based on emotions. I didn't vote for any of the Republicans based on emotions. I'm a righteous man. I'm a Bible believer. Like, I believe a lot of the stuff, and the majority of the stuff that's in the scripture. And therefore, I either don't vote if I don't like the candidate, or I gotta vote conservative. Because any of y'all, I got some preachers on my page too. Did you vote for Biden? You need to look in your mirror, and you probably need another dip. If you voted for Biden and you're a preacher, you're a pastor, shame on you. You either don't vote or you have to vote conservative. Faith-based is conservative. It's a conservative agenda. How are you getting faith-based money and then voting for the people who want to close churches and want to control what you think spiritually? Now, I'm still waiting on all of y'all uncles, pastors, cousins, childhood friends, associates, co-workers, ex-co-workers, and everybody else that voted for Biden to stand up, look at what he has done, and tell me that he's done a good job. A guy that I respect his opinions and I respect some of his takes on things, he tried to tell me Biden did a good job. I was done. Because I've heard him call people slow. I've heard him call people crazy. But he told me that Biden did a good job. I was done with the conversation. I was done. The main Democrats that I respect is the ones that will admit that I have a bias towards Democrat and vote Democrat. If you admit that, I'll leave you alone. But if you one of those people that trying to act like that their way is the better way for us who live in America, we Americans, y'all black people, just talking about you ain't no American, get out there. That's stupid. This is your country. Everybody nationality is based on their country. I had to learn that myself. Like, you're Americans. And if you could tell me to my face that the weight of the Democrats and the philosophy of the Democrat is the best across the board for this country, for us to stay out of war, for us to have diversity, for us to prosper economically, which everybody knows capitalism is the way you prosper. I mean, how are we basing our whole entire country off people who don't want to do anything? People who, some of which are able-bodied and refusing to engage the capitalistic society that we live in. How? How are we basing our voting and who controls the House and the Senate on people who say things like, I can't go for that job, that's gonna mess up my food stamp? How? Now wait. Come to me man to man. We ain't gotta physically fight. We ain't even gotta be angry at each other. But come to me, adult to adult, and man to man, and tell me that we went 4 years, these same countries that are very dangerous, China and Russia, actually liked it Trump. They didn't have no intention on any type of war. Now you got a Russian president who doesn't like our president. And the man is not the weakest link. He's not weak at all. And now you got a president who, and you know what it reminded me of? Remember that last Dragon scene where the guy came out trying to help Leroy? And then when Beast went after him, he started running away and trying to throw people in the way. That's what it reminds me of. You want to talk to Russia, but then you want to get my sons, who don't even agree with you politically, but you want to force them to fight against two superpowers with no formal training of military. You want to go back and why don't you and Putin get in the ring yourself? But y'all voted for them. You don't vote for me, you're not black. I didn't vote for you, and I'm black. Now, am I a car thief? No. Which I've heard a lot of car thieves say F Trump. Am I a drug dealer? No. I heard a lot of drug dealers talking about Trump, barbershops and everything. Am I on food stamps? Nothing against people. People have hard times. But if you trying to stay on them intentionally, I'm throwing this at you. No. But they don't like Trump either. See, this ain't about values. This ain't about the best route for this country. This is pure emotion. A lot of people don't like rich people. Let's just face it. People don't like when people have a lot of money and don't give it to them. They don't like that. They don't go out and try to get it themselves. They just rather hate the person. So, again, I ask you who said we did it, slapping five, did you slap anybody high five? Did you say we did it? We got him out of there. Did you cry? Did you show any emotion of happiness when he got in here? I want you who did it. You who argued, talked about who you didn't like because they vote for Trump. Oh, I don't like dude. I don't like him. Well, I'm not talking about, I have a friend that has a certain nickname that I'm not talking about him. But if this person did vote for Biden, that statement, I'm not talking about him. But the other things I said, you too. Like if you still think he did a good job, come forward for him. Passing out crack pipes. Come forward. Come on. And any of the rest of y'all at any job that I had, that you was walking around talking about how you ain't like me, you was going in the office telling on me, your secret reason is because you was mad I was voting for Trump. I know some Latinos. Emotional. Listen. I think they should be allowed to come over here and work, but I think that there should be a certain card that they just give them. They want to work, let them work. So y'all think I agree with everything. I don't agree with people that's not citizens taking jobs from citizens, but I believe that if the jobs that they want, it should be certain jobs that they can get with a certain pass. And then the rest, make it easier for them to become citizens. That's what I believe. But that little trying to give them $650,000 a piece, that ain't right. So I say to Latinos too, the ones that I know, if you posted any memes, if you talk down on Trump, anything over that one issue, based on your emotion, I know y'all stick together and that's noble. But based on that one issue, you voted against Trump. The ones that voted against Trump, I want you to come forward and plead your case for Biden. Because they already said he only has a 33% percentage rate, approval rate, and it's dropping. Lowest in history. So I want y'all to come forward. Just because Trump was keeping some out, I want y'all to come forward for Biden. I done gave you plenty. I want you to come forward for him. Because that $650, you already know that's not fair. You know that's not fair. If he said, well, I'm going to give black people $650, I would be like, you know what? Yeah, that's not fair, but I would take it. So you taking it, if he would have gave it to you, hey man, I would have took it. But you know good and well that he doesn't serve the best interest of the American public, because there's a lot of college students written with student loans that if he gave them $650,000, they could pay off those loans. It's a lot of people that would start businesses. It's a lot of people. This country would even be even more rich. Because even if they didn't do nothing but spend the whole $650, it still would make the United States even richer. So, come on here. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. 3 strikes rule, NAFTA. And then, matter of fact, I dare any of y'all to try to bring up Bill Clinton. He was horrible. Bill Clinton is for people who don't know the issues. I know the issues more now. Bill Clinton is for people who don't know the issue. So y'all think being a conservative is only about the rich. I know I'm going to be there one day, but conservatism it's way more to this than that. That's people who are naive when it comes politically illiterate, put it that way, where you think that conservatism is only about the rich. You think that voting Republican is only about the rich, and you think every person who votes Republican as Uncle Tom, which you got backwards anyway. Uncle Tom was not the Uncle Tom. Sambo was the Uncle Tom. Y'all use terms y'all don't even know, like COON. Look at the behavior of those species, and you tell me who's the real ones. They throw trash everywhere. You tell me who the real ones. They invite themselves to people's stuff. You tell me who the real COONs. Yes, I'm putting this on Facebook. And to me, if you voted for Biden and you won't watch this, you're just a coward anyway. You're just a coward anyway. You could be like, I have a bias towards Democrats, and that's why I don't agree with you. And I'll be like, okay, I respect that. You came forward like adults here. But if you try to convince me that this dude is the best for the country, or his vice president, who I could ask her 5 questions. By the time I get to the 4th question, she gonna be she gonna be all backwards. I don't care if you got hot sauce in that stuff don't work with me. Because all I gotta do is look at who you married to. You say, well, Candace Owens, this, that. Listen, if Candace Owens votes how she talks, then I agree with a lot of what she says. Because it don't really matter. Now, my opinion, I'm the truth man, but this is my opinion, that when you marry outside of the race, you can have true opinions, but you can't represent that group as a whole because your interests will be divided. Like, you can't tell the truth about the negative things of whites if you married to a white and you have kids. What are you going to say when you get home? You better off in those situations staying single and then voicing. Because that's one of the only things they got against Martin Luther King is the stuff with the white workers. We'll just call them workers. White women workers. That's one of the main things that people got on him. It's one of the main things they hold against him. Not coming to his defense in it. You don't know what was going on at his house. If Coretta was on strike, I mean, I'm not condoning. But, but I want to stick to Biden. Joe Biden. Biden off of freedom. Biden off of normal life. Wouldn't even say law enforcement. And that's another thing. In closing a few minutes. Those of you who want to bring up a couple things that went wrong, let me ask you something. Have you ever been a correctional officer? Have you ever been a police officer? Because if you've been a correctional officer, you know that there has been officers that were fired and jailed over things that went wrong. I know some of them, and I know they not bad guys. Things just go wrong. People get scared. Sometimes people feed too much into stuff. So that's how I know y'all ain't never been a correctional officer. You ain't never been a police officer. Because what we correctional officers, and I'm saying we, because I soon to start once again And police officers have to deal with subjects, we'll call them, who are sometimes bigger than us, sometimes stronger than us, sometimes they have weapons. So let me get this straight. Because a few organizations, one of which starts with Apple, the letter that Apple starts with, which is over there with Biden, and a few people who are emotional. You're not showing them the true story. You're not showing them what these people did, the events leading up to what happened. I ain't gonna say their names. I don't have to. You're not showing what they habitually was doing and the events leading up to what happened. And they leave details out. And you know what they call that? They call that domestic terrorism. You basically trying to create your own terrorists because you're trying to give them stuff to keep the emotions within them that you want them to have. Democrats, every time I watch a debate, it seems like they lose. But people still vote for them. Like every debate they lose, you know what they do? Laugh. Smile. Sling mud. That's it. Laugh, smile, sling mud. Laugh, smile, sling mud. Y'all can't tell me Trump didn't destroy Biden in that debate. You can't tell me that Pence didn't destroy Harris in the debate. But here's the problem with Pence. Pence secretly is a Democrat. And he never liked Trump. Because for him to do what he did, he clearly didn't like Trump. Now, Trump tried to pick somebody that he thought he could trust. He thought he could pick somebody who, quote unquote, was with God. Let me tell you something about these Christians. I'm just a believer. I'm connected to God. I'm saved. My name is in the book of life. I'm just a believer. Let me tell you about people who claim Christianity sometimes, not all. Every church I went in, somebody betrayed me in some way. Same as the world. I had one dude talking about, because he was mad that the pastor, me and the pastor were close. We was going to prison ministry. We were doing this and that. He wasn't asking him. He was asking me. So he said, he goes to the scripture and says that I'm going to betray him. He went to the scripture about Judas. The same dude that told my wife that she smells so good, she's making him hungry. That's Christians. And another dude in the church waited till I wasn't there to try to talk against me. Then if I go by the first church, those guys, I was literally, when I first started going to church, before I even connected with God, still going to clubs and stuff. One of these guys, I come back, he pushing up on my wife that was my girlfriend at the time. Now keep in mind, he's a little small church boy. I'm a fighter. Like I carry guns. I'm thugged out back then. What, he thought God was gonna save him? Yeah, my friends saved him. Like, man, he ain't even worth it, dude. Look at him. He's soft. That's what they told me. And I just went on. It was one of my friend's birthday. I just left it alone. Event after event after event. And one particular church where, I ain't gonna lie, I respected the pastor and his wife. But looking back, like some of his doctrine was flawed. And a lot of his members, it was a competition thing. You go up, this is what happened. So we had this tag team thing going where we tagging off like couples. We preaching, we all preaching, tagging off. They said, well, you and your wife, we're going to go last. So we went last. Tagging off. Everybody tagging off. They saying what they got to say. People clapping and stuff. I was last. I was dead last. When I started preaching, some of the people that were just sitting there got to shouting like, hey, shabaking, this, that. From that day on, it was a competition thing. Every time I got up for a testimony, I'm going to be honest with you, I just was wanting to tell people about the goodness of God. Like I still do. These guys were literally coming up there, competing. Same guys. It was like the same 2 or 3 guys. Every time I got up, they got up. And some of these people voted for Biden. Don't look to religious people in the religions of today's world. Do your own research. If you just getting your feet in the door, then, learn the basics of how to have faith. Learn the basics of the creation story, this, that, and the other. But always do your own individual research. And don't claim none of those religions. Because I'm telling you, a lot of Biden's votes came from people with this skin right here, just claiming to be so holy and connected to God. And what is he doing? Soon as he got in there, something for the rainbow community. Now, you don't want them to be mistreated or physically harmed. If that's what they choosing, that's fine. That's the first thing he did, though. But if we don't vote for him, we not black. First thing he did. And y'all, sanctimonious people, put them in there to give out crack pipes, to do this, do that, all this stuff that don't got nothing to do with the scripture. But you a preacher, though. And then it's a couple of y'all on Facebook that you say some good stuff, but sometimes I don't like your stuff because you don't like mine. You ever heard the term, scratch my back and I'll scratch yours? But you voted for Biden, though, and you hiding. I know you voted for Biden. I know I'm talking to you on Facebook who preach all the time. How many of y'all voted for this man? Now, I can respect if you didn't vote at all. But if you voted for this man, stop preaching. Because the Most High is not pleased. I'm telling you, I'm a prophet. You don't have to believe it. He's not pleased with people who voted for this man. He don't like everything about Trump either. But Trump's heart is a little softer than his. Shockingly, you might not believe it, but his heart a lot. Listen, man. Trump gave more to the black colleges than Obama did. He gave more to the black colleges than Obama did. But he a racist, though. He's racist. He said this. He said, listen, if we go by every little thing white people say, they practically are racist then. And if we go by some of the stuff some of us said, they could call us racist too. I know I done had some choice. I mean, the last several years, I done waking up woke. But you know how some people be in that toss and turning stage, but they still sleep? I'm woke. But yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man. I want y'all to show yourself. If you put up even one meme, I want you to show yourself. And I want you to come forward and present your case for Biden Kamala Harris, and all these Democrats cheated in Georgia. They lost. You know what? And speaking of that in closing, even though I'm conservative, I don't believe we should have all Democrats or all Republicans. Because if you get all Republicans, then some of the programs that people need might get taken away. I can't lie about it. You get all Democrats, then it's going to be all type of weird stuff. So I prefer the Republicans have the Senate, Democrats have the House, so they can really battle it out and come up with the best results, hopefully. I don't want all Democrats. I don't want all Republicans. No lie. I want all Republican presidents, though. I want a Republican Supreme Court. Shout out to the Supreme Court for letting people keep their independence with their physical bodies. See what I'm talking about? And some of y'all that voted for Biden, he's practically the reason why some of y'all can't go back to your old job. You done got fired from your job because you wouldn't take the arm water. And those Republicans that you hate so much, they made it where some of you probably can bring a suit against your former employee. Or the rest of you held out, now you ain't got to do it. You don't vote for me. You're not black. The Midnight Rider, Joe Biden is a midnight rider. That's all I need to say, really. I said enough at the 20-minute point, but y'all knew I was going in. And then the Let's Go Brandon, after I heard this about the crack pipe, let's go Brandon.